recording. After the webinar, I'll be following up. I'll send an email with, I guess, some of the information from the webinar. It'll be posted under the My SUSTA login, under the past webinars tab, so you can watch it or revisit it on your own time. But as I said, thank you to everyone that's on the webinar. Special thanks to those that will be presenting, Peter and Erica, and always Fred and Arlene. We're very happy to have you all on this webinar and really to be able to understand what opportunities are available for Southern exporters. I know that SUSTA, we are also kind of gearing up for the Panama outbound trade mission that we have, and that's very exciting. So maybe it'll give you some insight into what you need to prepare yourself for, what opportunities are available. Just as I mentioned, that outbound trade mission will be August 7th and 8th. Obviously, some of the fee covers either getting reimbursed for your airfare or lodging for the duration of the outbound, and then other expenses that may not be covered. Cost share can provide that 50% reimbursement. But to kind of kick things off and get things started, I will hand things off to Fred. So thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Alistair, for that introduction. My name is Fradwelín Escarraman, and along with Arlene Mueces, we are the e-market representative for SOSTA in Central America. And we're really looking forward to have you all in this trade mission that we're putting together. I see some familiar names in the list of participants. And as Alistair mentioned, the mission is going to be the 7th and the 8th. We are supposed to be in Panama on the 6th, and we return home on the 9th. So today we have with us Peter Olson, which is the agricultural attaché in Panama, and also Erica Sanchez, which is the marketing specialist, both working with FAS. So they have great information for us today about the market, about what's going on, and about the opportunities. This is a market that's over $500 million worth of consumer-oriented products, so a lot of opportunities there. So we look forward that this will provide the information that you need to make the decision to come into the mission. All right, so I'm going to yield the floor to Peter, and thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, Alistair. Appreciate it. As was mentioned, I'm Pete Olson, the Ag Attaché here representing the Foreign Ag Service at the U.S. Embassy in Panama City. I'm joined today on the call by Erica, who's our marketing specialist at the office. And as you can see, we also have Arlene, who is our agricultural specialist. She works on market access issues and trade policy. And then we also have Eunice, which handles, our office and our budget and setting up logistics and things like that. So we're a small but mighty team here for FAS Panama and the ag section at the embassy. Fred mentioned that it's around a $500 million consumer-oriented market. It's it's quite an impressive dollar value when you consider there's just 4.5 million people here. The other good thing, besides it being a large market for consumer-oriented products, is that we're right here close to home. You can see us here in Central America. A lot of times people think of Central America running kind of north to south, but in Panama, we say it goes east to west. So from Colombia in the east to Costa Rica in the west. Costa Rica is also a good market in the region. Central America in general is a growing market for U.S. food and agriculture. But so we're just one office of around 100 offices that we have covering major markets around the world. Sounds like there's a group coming to Panama in August. That's great. Love to see you here. But keep in mind, we also have offices in most major markets around the world as well. So we say that my agency kind of has 4 pillars that hold the stool up. So you see top left there is kind of what we're talking about today and what Erica coordinates for us. Market promotion. We work with our cooperators and our SRTGs. So SUSTA is one of our state and regional trade groups, also Food Export and Western U.S. Trade Association. And then on the right there, market intelligence that Erica and Arlene both contribute to. These are our gain reports. Some of these are specifically designed to help keep small and medium-sized U.S. exporters informed about market rules and regulations for entering the market and for business opportunities that might be out there. So go ahead and you can just Google USDA FAS gain, and you can select by country and by commodities. I would especially highlight the FAIRS report as well as the exporter guide. Again, to kind of, you're just coming to Panama for the first time and looking to see what sort of market opportunities there are and what some of the requirements are, that's a good place to start. Bottom left, market access. I mentioned Arlene helps coordinate that for our office. Panama and the United States do have a bilateral free trade agreement that affords really unprecedented access into Panama for U.S. Producers and exporters. Nonetheless, there's always issues that we're working on, additional access, or you send a container down and it gets stuck in port for some reason. We can try and help you out with that. And then the bottom right there is our trade capacity building that my agency does in several countries around the world. Not so much in Panama. Panama is considered a high income country, so we don't have a lot of those tools to promote trade development and stuff in Panama. But just so you're aware, we do have a lot of those activities in other countries, especially places in Africa. Next slide. Go to the next slide there, Erica. We can skip that one. Like I say, this is we do have a couple of projects here that are tied to the current administration in Panama. There was elections a little while ago, and the new government in Panama will be taking office on July 1st, and hope people are optimistic will lead to some improved trade conditions. I can get into that in a minute. Go ahead, next slide. So I mentioned, our state and regional. There's SESTA there. Here's a lot of the other several of the other cooperators that we work with, and kind of the way that we work is working with the cooperators, working with you all, their members as exporters, and kind of advising where we can and giving input on marketing plans and keeping these groups and their members aware of market access conditions and opportunities in the market. Go ahead. All right. Go ahead. Next slide there. So here's what Panama sends to the United States. You see a big chunk of it is seafood, sugar, bananas, rum. Some of the other products that Panama exports to the United States are things like papayas, squash, pineapple, and some other tropical fruits. So it's around $180 million that they export to us. Next slide. Here's your competition, I guess you might say, in the Panamanian market. These are the other countries that export to Panama in significant volumes. As you can see, though, the United States is far and away the largest supplier to Panama. There's a few reasons for that. One, we've got great logistics connections with Panama. A lot of small and medium-sized exporters, or even really what drives the trade is the import distributors here in Panama, who have a long history of bringing products in from the United States. A lot of that goes through consolidators in Florida. So the logistics between Panama and Florida are great. It's a short travel times, close to home, use the US dollar. Also, as you're probably aware, the United States and Panama share a long history. The United States has been involved in this region, obviously with construction of the Panama Canal, and when Panama gained its independence from Colombia in the early 20th century. But even before that, the U.S. was involved in building the railroad that went across Panama in the 1850s. So there's a lot of history between the United States and Panama, and a lot of familiarity amongst Panamanian consumers and their choices and preferences and what they understand about, U.S. food, U.S. brand names, and a strong preference for the quality and affordability that the U.S. food offers. Go ahead, Erica. Here's kind of the distribution main channels in Panama. You can see, these days it's supermarkets, hypermarkets. We've got, don't have Costco, but we got kind of their local, it was originally their local affiliate, very similar style called Price Mart, and several major, retail, grocery store, large format stores in Panama. So especially in Panama City. So Panama City's around 80% of the economy. The point I want to make here is it's a very modern kind of retail formats for grocery outlets. Some of the stores, are be familiar and with as many brands as we have here in Panama from the U.S. A lot of times it's a lot like walking into a grocery store in the United States. But some of the other smaller formats, kind of the mom and pop corner store formats, are also important and have widespread distribution throughout Panama. And they are serviced by some really innovative import distributors. There's different ones out there. De Carina is one of the major ones that has warehouses in important strategic places around Panama, and they're able to kind of deliver small and medium-sized packages, breaking down pallets and putting that in containers. So even kind of out in the countryside, I think you'd be amazed at the amount of U.S. brands and the variety of U.S. brands that you find out there too. So go ahead, Erica. Here's kind of what we call our SWOT analysis, some of the strengths of the market. Consumer-oriented products are very popular here in Panama. We do have some, protectionist policies that the current government that's on its way out has erected over the last 5 years of their administration, making, product registrations a little bit more bureaucratic, especially when it comes to dairy facilities, as well as working with, fresh onions and potatoes, and then some issues on rice as well. So we do have some challenges, but by and large, especially for consumer-oriented products, it's a very easy market to get into. Opportunities there, Erica, I think, is going to talk about in a little bit. She's always bringing delegations to the major U.S. trade shows. There's strong interest amongst Panamanian importers, retailers, distributors for finding kind of what the trends are in the United States, what the newest products are in the United States, and realizing that will soon be a popular item here in Panama. So there's a lot of small, medium-sized companies, also the established companies that are looking to the United States and U.S. Suppliers as innovators in the industry and using U.S. Products to help grow their business. And we are seeing some increasing competition in Panama from other trading partners. Go ahead, Erica. I'll go over this just very briefly. I kind of covered a lot of it. The free trade agreement was implemented in 2012. And so most all tariffs have gone down to zero. And if not, they're approaching zero very quickly. A lot of the existing trade regulations in terms of tariffs and quotas will go away by 2026. The last one to phase out is going to be rice in 2031. With that in mind, some Panamanian producer groups have advocated for additional protections. United States doesn't really get in the habit of renegotiating agreements, especially ones that have been in place for this long. So, we continue to discuss, and we're optimistic again that with the next administration, we can work, collaboratively to address bilateral concerns. Go ahead, Erica. So again, back to consumer-oriented products. Here's what we call our top 10 of general categories under consumer-oriented products. You see the categories and numbers there. So I don't really need to go into a lot of additional detail there. You know, if this was just pulled from, I didn't put the source on there, but it was just pulled from USDA GAT system there that will pull up a BECO report for you. So, you know, these are kind of the top 10 items, but as you see, it kind of trails off there, and you know, items you know, 11 through 20 are similarly in that, you know, definitely tens of millions of dollars to multi-million-dollar product categories. So again, U.S. consumer-oriented products continues to be in high demand here. All right, so I'll just briefly go over a little bit of this. You know, this again, a lot of the export requirements. You know, hopefully when you come down in August and really kind of get a feel for the market and start meeting with importers. You know, a lot of these importers that we work with, you know the U.S. system very well and can provide a lot of guidance to you on what sort of you know, information, documentation you need to supply. Again, if you're familiar with exporting product to the region and to Latin America, I think it's important to keep in mind that Panama is one of the easiest markets to get into. You know, you don't have to relabel product into Spanish, or you know, we don't have a system of you know, nutritional warning labels or anything like that in place yet. So it's still a good market and relatively straightforward, again, for small and medium-sized exporters to get into. So go ahead, Erica, next slide. All right, I think the rest of this is mostly is Erica's stuff. So I'll turn it over to Erica, who works on our marketing stuff, both, you know, kind of traditional trade shows, you know, receiving you guys through a buyer's mission here to Panama, but also on kind of our forward-leaning digital marketing campaign, which we brand everything under Sabor USA. So go ahead, Erica.
Yes, thank you, Pete. And thank you for your interest on the market. The Panamanian market is a small country, but always our buyers and distributors, they keep track of all the trends on the food and beverages industry. So Sabor USA was born in 2021 in the middle of a pandemic, and it's been a great tool to promote your products once they are in the retail points, the point of retail here in Panama for sale. Here's a quick video that we put together just to promote Sabor USA among the consumers. As I mentioned, Panama is a small country, very vibrant. I think we can be considered like a little Miami with the high rises and state-of-the-art supermarket and retail outlets. So Sabor USA, we use the brand that belongs to the USDA to promote and to create a community of consumers. So far, between all the media assets that we have, Sabor USA Panama has around 15 followers so far, and we keep growing. Unidos por los Sabores is our slang or trademark, which means we are united by flavors. And we celebrate all the historic ties between the United States and Panama around their gastronomy. There's so many quick facts that we used. We have a full graphic design in place to create very up-to-date pieces, graphic pieces and videos promoting your products once they are in the market. These are our digital media assets. We have Instagram, we have Facebook, Twitter, which is now X, and full displays of a video library created in-house by our collaborators. And also we partnered with local chefs, local retailers, and influencers, foodies. This is our website. In our website, we display recipes with your products. We announce the latest trade shows in the news section or any upcoming events. The SUSTA events, it's already been promoted through a newsletter that we also have as a communication asset through our database of companies between retailers, food distributors, associations related to the industry. And there's a full page for buyers. Here's where we feature every single announcement and activity that we put together with Sour USA and in our office, FAS. This is some of the latest trade shows that we have promoted last year. But if you visit the page, you will see some of the latest trade shows that we have attended and that we register for free, as we have some negotiations with some of the trade shows to bring some buyers delegations to the show. This is another video that we put together. We visited last year. This is from last year, but this year we went to NRA, National Restaurant Association show in Chicago. And just between our office, the FAS office, and the US Commerce, we brought around 80 buyers to the show. And we took them to all the exhibitors at the State of the State Pavilion that was put together by NASDA. And it was a great experience for our buyers. It's in Spanish for now, but...
Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Aquí el chef Alonso, como el Chombo Williams, y nos encontramos aquí desde Chicago, desde el National Restaurant Association Show, aquí en el McCormick Place. Y bueno, esto ha sido un show espectacular, un show que no lo puedes cubrir en un solo día, necesitas de 3 a 4 días para poder cubrirlo. Y bueno, hemos venido acá todos estos días para vivir nuevamente la experiencia. Ya esta es mi tercera experiencia en este show y la verdad es que cada vez que vengo, súper sensacional. En esta vuelta he venido al show más que todo para poder averiguar y investigar todo lo que tenga que ver con materia prima dentro del rubro mío de la preparación de adobos y salsas barbacoa, la salsa chimichurri, la salsa picante, en fin. Vamos a buscar envases, vamos a buscar materia prima como especias para complementar los sazonadores y ver y hacer ese networking con los proveedores para poder tener la facilidad de conseguir los productos mucho más fácil si no los encontramos en nuestro país. Vamos a seguir viendo todo lo que nos brinda este show, a disfrutarlo. Todo esto gracias a mi familia de Sabor USA. Sin ellos, yo no estaría aquí. Y venimos
So
por
this
más.
type of video, as I mentioned, really helps to promote
Hola, mi nombre es Abdul,
US
soy de
products
Sunset,
before
Veracruz,
they enter the
Food
market.
Company.
And
Estamos
if
en
you
el
ever
NRA
are,
en Chicago,
or if you
viendo
ever
las
are planning,
innovaciones
if you're ever planning to
podemos llevar a
participate in any
Panamá.
of these trade shows,
Hemos
please
visto
reach out to
algo
us.
espectacular que
We
vamos a
have
llevar
a
a
full
Panamá, que son las
database
máquinas de
of
infusión. Es lo que
buyers
está de moda en
that
Estados
if
Unidos,
they are
reemplazando
not
las
attending the
bebidas
show, you can probably
carbonatadas
do
con el azúcar. Entonces,
B2Bs
prontito lo
over
tendremos
a
en Panamá.
video call or a phone call and exchange your product information.
Hola, mi nombre es Javier Espinosa y desde el show de Chicago de restaurante hemos visto
And these are some of Top Chef's influencers that we bring to the show to keep promoting the latest trends in the industry.
Así, en la rama mía de gastronomía se ha visto muchos productos, mucha tecnología, lo que viene nuevo en Panamá no se ha visto y posiblemente dentro de unos 3, 4 años posiblemente vamos a ver robots en las cocinas haciendo la comida. Invito para el próximo año a más personas de Panamá a que vengan a la feria a ver todas las innovaciones que nos presentan.
Hola, mi nombre es Marta Rodríguez, soy administradora del restaurante Parrillada Jimmy en Panamá. Es mi primera vez en la feria de Chicago. Estoy sumamente emocionada de todas las cosas que he visto, de los contactos que he hecho, de la tecnología que han presentado. Y definitivamente pues es una ventana que te ayuda a innovar en tu restaurante y en todo tipo de industria que tenga que ver con restaurantes, pues. Le agradezco mucho a la gente de Sabor USA por la invitación y espero verlos el próximo año por acá.
Saludos desde Chicago.
Únanse al Club Sabor USA.
So as you can see, this is a great tool that really helps us put together quality content, even in stock photography and very dynamic videos to promote our market and promote your products. I don't know if we should start the Q&A. Yes?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, thank you very much, Erica and Peter. That was a lot of information, but great information at the same time. And kind of to echo, I think, Peter, you said this at the beginning, it's a small country, but it really does pack a punch in terms of buying power, in terms of, similarities between the US as well. So yeah, as we mentioned, right now we'll open up the floor for any questions. Enter them in the chat or through that Q&A box. So yeah, if you want to start asking away, you have Peter and Erica's attention. I think there was one that I possibly saw in terms of, and you maybe covered this already, Peter or Erica. How do you feel, I guess, how does Panama separate itself from the rest of Central American markets as an export or our ideal export market?
Yeah, I'll start off, and then I think Erica can get into a little bit too. But I think the first thing is, again, the ease of getting into the market. Things like labeling and documentation requirements and the logistics and the already existing container traffic going from Florida to Panama City really helps ease that bureaucratic process. Secondly, Panama is also kind of a country of migrants. There's a lot of people here from around the world that have come at different times, and that process continues here in Panama. So locals are used to eating foods from all over the world, and United States is one of the countries that offers kind of consumer-oriented packaged foods that kind of tap into that world market and can also help bring those flavors to Panama. Kind of the opposite of that is that Panama, given its logistics advantages and the kind of the hub nature of Panama, both in shipping but also the airlines, specifically Copa Airlines that flies all over the region and several places in the United States with direct flights. And there's a lot of multinational companies that have their headquarters here in Panama City, and so that has a large group of folks that are used to eating international foods. A lot of those multinational companies are from the United States, so when they have staff, that creates demand for U.S. product. And then again, just kind of the history of United States presence here, and of course with the canal and the canal zone and the canal kind of being administered by the United States for a lot of the history until the year 2000. There's a large group of Panamanians that either grew up in the canal zone or with access to the canal zone that had access to those U.S. foods and brands and have appreciated them and continued to stick with them. So I think those are kind of several aspects that make Panama kind of a unique destination for U.S. origin food products.
So, thank you. While you were speaking, there were several questions that just came through as well. One of them, for the outbound trade mission, this might be a Frad or Arlene question. For the outbound trade mission, how will appointments be organized?
Excellent question. How we usually do it now, once we close the registration of U.S. suppliers, we design a document highlighting all the companies, all the products. We will, of course, coordinate meetings with each representative of the U.S. company so that we can understand more their strategy into coming in Panama. And once we have that and the specific products that they want to promote out of the portfolio, then we distribute that among all the importer database that we have. So after that, what's going to happen is that we're going to start receiving their requests from the importing company. We will make sure that the importing company is a good match to the supplier company that they're interested in, and then we'll start working on a matrix that takes a while to put together. The goal is to assign as many meetings as possible to each of the supplying companies participating. The meetings are going to take place on the 8th, and from early morning until we're done, you guys are going to be exhausted. It's 25-minute meetings, and that's how we usually do it.
Awesome. Thank you, Fred. Somebody else asked if we are unable to attend the outbound trade mission, what other opportunities exist to connect to the market? So Peter, Erica, I don't know if you want to touch on kind of, or Fred, touch on how, aside from maybe SUSTA events or activities, how else they can be engaging with these importers and distributors.
Yeah, well, you can get in touch with us directly, and we can see if we can set something up. We have a database of importers and kind of their product brands. So, we can talk about the ways that we could get your company in front of some of the relevant importers once we understand, more about yourselves and your history of doing business internationally. There's also, as Erica mentioned, all of the major U.S. trade shows. Erica will either lead a delegation back or will be aware of Panamanians that are going to those shows. So you have a booth there, or if you're also traveling there, we can try and make those connections. So those are a couple of the ways that we can help put you in touch.
Thank you. And this, I think in some ways, this next question has been answered, but is there a way that you can provide a list of retailers by market share? And I think you mentioned a list of importers.
Yeah, and excuse me, Alistair.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yes, I want to talk about opportunities to connect in the market. SOSTA has virtual consultations with us. So I think that will be the first step. So you can sign up for that virtual consultations. You meet with us for 35, 45 minutes. We, in that session, we talk about, your company, the markets that you're interested in, and we can then identify the best opportunities for you and your products. The other service that SOSTA has is the Export Match service, which is a new service that has been recently approved. So what will happen with that service is that you enroll, we'll have a meeting with you, We'll talk about the product that you want to promote, and then we will be the liaison between the market that you're interested in and you. The idea is for you to share all the marketing materials that you have with us. We will contact the importers directly, follow up with them, and identify the ones that are interested in meeting with you to learn more about your product. After that, you will have from 3 to 5 virtual meetings with actual leads that already study your marketing material, see opportunities for your product, and hopefully with that meeting, you guys will do the initial point of contact and take it from there. So those are also two ways that are very cost efficient, time efficient for you guys to come into the markets.
Great. Yeah, thank you for highlighting those, Fred. Looking at some of the other questions, we have a plant-based cookies brand and want to know how acceptable are those type of products in Panama. So I guess health conscious, health focused foods.
Yeah, I think, yeah, go ahead, Erica.
Erica, you're muted, I think.
So sorry. Yeah, snacks. It's an item. It's a category that it's well received. Even we have a very high demand on either natural, with all the health enthusiasts that are looking for better options for the daily consumption. But snacks, it's a very important category for buyers and especially for retail stores.
Thank you. Kind of a similar question, I guess. You know, vanilla products, or I guess Creole and seasonings. Is that I guess a successful product that in the Panamanian market?
Yes, it is. I mean, we're very close to the Caribbean, and that's part of our heritage.
Yep, I'd imagine so as well. Somebody asked, how do we organize the virtual consultation that Frad was talking about? In my follow-up email, I'll send a link to that. You'll just need to be logged in to your MySesta account in order to get registered. Like Frad mentioned, it's a great way to conduct market research, become familiar with the lay of the land, but specifically for your products. The virtual consultations are also offered for free. So as Frad mentioned before, it's a cost-effective and convenient way to prepare yourself for exporting. I think that kind of covers all the questions that we had. Like I mentioned before, thank you very much to all those who presented and spoke today. Special thank you to Frad, Arlene, Erica, and Peter. It's been a really beneficial webinar. And as we mentioned, we have that upcoming outbound trade mission in August. Hopefully, if you see this as a successful market, you can register for that event. We can always put you in contact with Frad if you have more questions regarding the details as well. But like I said, I'll be sending a follow-up email with a link to the virtual consultations, and then you can watch the webinar again on your own time. And I think one thing, I know that somebody asked questions about the emails for the FAS office in Panama. I believe Erica shared that in the chat, the two contacts. But if that concludes everything, thank you again. Let us know if there's any other ways that we can be supporting you.
Sorry, Alistair, I was going to note something.
Go for it.
No, I was just going to say too, for the folks that will be participating in August, coming down to visit, that'll be great. Erica and the rest of the team will be here. I'm actually, I've been here at Panama at Post for 4 years, so I'm going to be transitioning out of the office. And so if you come down, just don't be confused. There'll be a different looking guy here doing my job. His name's Andrew. So he'll be coming down in July, and will be up and running by the time the group comes down in August, I'm sure. And like I say, plus Erica and Arlene and Eunice will be here. So I just wanted to highlight that so folks aren't confused.
Perfect. Thank you for that clarification. Thank you to everyone as well that joined the webinar. And like I said, I'll be sending that follow-up email. I will put you in contact. We'll provide that support however we can. I hope everybody has a great rest of their day.
Thank you. Looking forward to meeting you here in Panama.
Yep. Thanks, everybody. Safe travels.
Everyone. Thanks.
Thank you.